Hey, FlimsyLunchTray here, and welcome to Warships for our Saturday edition video today, which is going to be a highlight of the Tier VIII German heavy cruiser, Hipper. As I've been grinding up this line, I've already have Rune and soon plan to have Hindenburg, so probably the next few weeks we'll be swapping between the German cruiser line and the new European destroyer line, as I'm currently grinding both of those lines right now, so probably just maybe a little bit of alternating back and forth. We shall see. So I actually did record and produce a whole entire video already with Hipper for a live commentary video, but the battle was just really and so I slept on it and I decided no. I'd played another battle last night and it just seemed to showcase the ship much better, because that's kind of what I'm looking for, is, you know, how can I show you more the full potential of the ship? Not that necessarily has to be a win and it has to be a really great battle, but just, you know, when you just have meh battles that don't really showcase the ship, I don't really feel comfortable ultimately uploading that to YouTube, or that you guys can all see. So this battle is better in my opinion in terms of just being able to see in general how the ship performs. So you've already seen some AA open up. The AA on Hidden Hipper is kind of meh. You can swap out the hydroacoustic search for the defensive AA, but the hydroacoustic search is just much better overall, and that is what I recommend the most. So our Chungmu has dropped some smoke for us, so didn't ask him anything like that, so he's just done it. So then we are just going to go ahead and slow down here and utilize it, and we're going to focus this Gneisenau now, which we've already set a fire on. These guns are 2 and 3 millimeter guns. You get 8 of them total, 2 turrets on the bow, 2 on the stern, and they have a 15% fire chance if you take both the combat signals that start fires, if I remember correctly. So that's just really helpful in kind of understanding this heavy cruiser, as she can brawl if need be. She plays really well at medium ranges, and you can even kind of play this. I mean, this is kind of a medium range play-ish with Hipper. And if your flank collapses, you can kite. That's what this line does really well. Rune kind of exceeds upon that as a kiting cruiser role. But here we're just focusing on the fact that this Gneisenau now is just kind of feeding himself to us. Now with these guns, when you fully upgraded, you don't get spotter plane, you only get fighter, but we have a 17.7 kilometer range with these 8, 2 and 3 millimeter guns. So that's just really great for us here. So we're using the corner of this island to get fires going on the Gneisenau now. He's pretty flustered with us. He's DCP'd. You know, I often try to let my team know if I've seen someone DCP, if they also want to focus in, maybe get some additional fire set. So we're already up to 26,000 damage, and basically the battle's just started. And so now we're trying to see if we can't get another fire set. So I'm going to have to turn my attention, though, perhaps to what's happening on the 9-10 line. Now I'm sitting here, and what's worked out really well for us is that we've not been spotted. So it tells me the destroyer has not flanking, so that allows me to sit here even more. And I go ahead and pop my fighter plane, because I'm like, what if that Gneisenau player is really upset that we're sitting here behind the island spamming him for free, and he's trying to get the Saipan to come drop us. So we go ahead and we pop the fighter plane. So we've shot down 7 planes. Our fighters have shot down 2 planes, because the fighter planes besides the dive bombers that were there. So that's worked out well. I think he ate a lot of flak. The fighters did one of the 2. So we've kind of cozied up a little bit more. Now we set 2 fires, if you missed that, on Gneisenau now. So we have 2 fires ticking on him, so you can see my damage is ticking up really well. And now we're going to use the torpedoes to see what the heck is going on with this Schultz. You get 4 by 3, so you get 3 or 6 torpedoes per side. So I'll go ahead and just throw some torps out just in case he thinks about running forward, because I'm trying to move up and I want to protect Chungmu. And I'm also really curious here to see if he's just going to keep sitting there. Maybe he'll come further forward. So that's why I've not popped my German hydroacoustic search, which detects ships at 6 kilometers away and detects torpedoes at 4 kilometers away. So he's just sitting there. and not even in a kiting position. He probably thinks we've been chilling out behind the island still because we were just kind of passively playing there. But now we get to move up and be a bit aggressive and catching him off guard when he thinks he's safe, and in reality, he's not. So I could have held my fire a little bit longer there for the rear turrets, but it's okay. We'll go ahead and dump torpedoes out because I think he's going to probably panic and he's going to go full broadside and wanting to run away. I pop my hydroacoustic search to assert dominance that you're mine, you're not getting away from this. As you see the terror unfold in his eyes. And we detonate him. If you're going to play randoms battle, it's really good to take Charlie combat signals. I do recommend that. I run them as much as possible always in randoms and ranked or co-op, and I do not. So we've got the kill there. We've eliminated the destroyer threat on this flank. There is one other destroyer, and we can see it's the Jaeger. He's been spotted. He's within gun range. So I'm immediately going to see if I can't lob my shells over the corner of this island since our CV has spotted him. And we'll switch and see. Yep. And take him out. So now we've, as a cruiser, we've eliminated the destroyer threat completely for our team, which is going to help us a lot in terms of our map positioning and making it much more difficult for the enemy team to try to contest caps or take caps. There's still a submarine somewhere off to the southwest of the map, but we're not too concerned about that. We do have 3 battleships on the 7, 8, 9 line, or 7, 8 line, so I didn't really feel like I was needed over there anymore because it's just the Rune and one other battleship, but the CV Saipan is helping out on that flank, so I didn't really feel like I was needed there. I felt like perhaps it's better for me to try to move up over more towards my team here, in that, hey, let's provide some cover fire. Maybe we can take the Bravo cap. But we're waiting here. So Georgia has been kind of edging forward, back and forth, and we have our destroyer here, and we can use this low-lying island, but he also has smoke up, and he's really low on his health too. So he's playing a little bit more of a passive role here, which is probably good for him, all things considered. So we're just kind of seeing what is taking place, what is happening right now, and I am going to critique myself here. I'm kind of waiting for the enemy team to make a push. I don't necessarily feel pressured that I need to make a push in. You can kind of see our team looks like they're maybe beginning to work down the 2-3 line. So I'm just going to sit here because the Georgia player has been coming forward. He's going to reverse. I thought maybe Iwami's going to come up and link with him, but you can see Iwami's just turning away and playing right at the border range of our 17.7 kilometer range. So there's not much happening here. Gneisenau, he's also playing around the islands. So you can see there's multiple ships playing around islands into the back of the map. So basically what this entails is usually it helps, if you have an aircraft carrier player, he kind of lodges them out, or we're going to have to make a flanking move to get around the islands to get effective fire on the enemy team, because we want to dislodge them from their camping, because they're basically like, okay, I've confirmed they're just going to camp now, so let's go ahead and move up. Now Georgia kind of moves up a little bit forward again. He spots the Gneisenau, so then we're going to go ahead and open up. I'm sorry, it was Prince Ruprecht he was actually going for. So we can see we're also been disabling AA on these battleships too with this German HE, so that's really good in general as well. Now I'll talk a little bit, you'll see an example of the AP later on in this battle. You don't sleep on the armor piercing, it is good. I just kind of embrace more of a pretty good fire chance playing back here. So now we do have a sub. That was another reason why I'm like, where's the submarine at? Do I want to push into Bravo? A little bit ago, I didn't feel comfortable, one because of Georgia's 18-inch guns, 457mm guns, and the fact that I know there's a submarine around somewhere, and I don't want to get shotgunned. So we've lost our destroyer player in the meantime. He didn't have much health left. We will take a blind shot here because that sub was just on the surface. Seeing maybe we can get some hits in on him. He's been spotted again, but he's since moved. And because I know we're going to coast out here, we're going to be mindful of our positioning with Georgia. Now Hipper's covered in 27mm armor, and you do have a turtleback armor scheme on your Citadel. So that really helps in helping prevent the Citadels from occurring or happening as easily. So I think it's kind of it might be just the corner bit of this island, this low-lying island right between me and the Georgias, while we're still spotted. Kind of what I want to do, because he's starting to melt pretty quickly here. You can see the effective fire that our teammates down in G2 are putting on the enemy Georgia. So they're providing the spotting, they're putting effective fire on him, and so they're dislodging him from that position, basically. It's either he gets dislodged or he's going to die, and he's just going to die to our fire. So it picks up our third kill as we accelerate. And I would have liked to gone right into B here, but I didn't feel like I had the best turning circle radius to be able to get to turn left here. And I didn't want to turn right and make a full circle. So because those battleships have just been sitting behind the island, I mean, you can see the Gniza now still just been playing behind the island. I decided it's probably just as quick for me to get a wider angle and push down the 3 line and seeing if I can get some shots into him. So far, the battle's progressing well. We have the ship advantage, we have the points advantage. You know, we don't have our destroyers anymore either. They lost their submarine. We still have our submarine, so we will get some effective spotting, which you can see our submarines already providing for us, as well as the CV. So we're going to be taking some moves up here. Now, if you're wondering actually about this camouflage, it is the Gladiator King of the Seas camouflage, and I got it for free out of a Distant Voyager container, and I like it a lot. It's really fun to have here on Hipper. It's cool. I like it. Now, what else can I really say about the ship? So you do have depth charges. They're okay. The torpedo firing angles are pretty good. Standard DCP for a cruiser. Your shell arcs are, when you're firing at range, you can see actually how they have a decent shell arc. It's not like a light cruiser, because these being 2 and 3 millimeters, we have a decent shell velocity on it. Now you can see Gnizer now has been dislodged. I'm assuming that probably our sub was pinging him and that forced him to move. So now they've been dislodged out of position. And our Savitsky Soyuz, as related version or whatever, has pushed him out or finished him off. So the enemy team is losing ground, and they don't really have many islands to play around and hide behind anymore. So we pick up the enemy CV, which we're going to be seeing again later, as he's trying to push away. And our sub does have to be careful because he can easily get picked off by the automated ASW. King George goes down. At the same time, we lose our Alaska to the Saipan. Now we have Bismarck coming into range, and so we're going to start focusing him. Maybe we can fire set on him. Now, if this cruiser had like, you didn't have spotter plane, and as you don't, but if the range was like 15 kilometers, or like maybe almost 16, I would say but definitely much more of a struggle here in playing the Hipper, because just having that range is really nice. We almost have this close to the same range as like what you do in Massachusetts. I think Massachusetts is like 18.1 or 18.3. So we're trying to see if we can get our rear turrets off there on the Wami, but he's just really been playing on the edge of our gun range the entire time. Saipan's flying in, so we prioritize our AA. We can utilize our fighters again here in a minute. Bismarck takes out our sub, and the sub takes out the Bismarck in exchange. And so now it's just the Irami, and I think there's a Talon low health over on the 10 line. And now we're going for the CV. So CV's pushing in, and he's turning off to his right. So then we're going to switch to AP here in a moment, and you're going to see an example of the AP is we're getting really close to 1,000 points. So we switch to the AP. We have top gun feeder, because we're detected within the detectability range. So here goes the AP salvo, still taking out more planes, and get a nice smack there, and he's dead. So very happy to have killed the CV before the battle ended, ultimately with the points. So that's going to take us into post-battle results. So 134,000 damage, 132 shell hits, so that's pretty good. The German cruiser, or German commander, Luchens, if you get 100 cruiser hits or 100 shell hits with the cruiser, you will activate. I think it's a faster reload. I have to double check that. So he can work well on the line. 18 planes shot down, 2 of them, and then 2 fighters, so technically 20. With the 3 kills, so we're going to top the team with 2,633 base experience, with our Sovietsky Soyuz doing really well there in the second slot. I'm not going to try to pronounce that name, probably get it wrong. You can see our fire damage alone was 38,000. We did get a little bit of secondary damage in there. Probably that was against the Schultz when we spotted him out and detonated him. And with premium account, you can see what we ended on. As I think we were just running like the lowest common economic bonus. So that is Hipper. Monday I'll do upgrade commander build on Hipper and give you my thoughts. I've been toying with some things on this line. And in general, it's just been very fun to play. And I really like Hipper. I think Hipper's, she feels like a really good cruiser. My first impressions of her is like very comfortable to play and felt really nice. So if you liked today's video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Subscribe if you do want to see more. If you're subscribed, thanks so much. I appreciate it. And we'll catch you next time. Take care.